In this video, we will calculate simple interest and use the future value formula to find the future value of an account or a loan. First, let's define the variables we're going to be working with. Interest is the amount of money that we get paid for lending or investing money. When we borrow money, it's the price we pay for using the money until we can repay it. The principal is the initial amount of money we deposit or borrow. The interest rate is given as a percent, but we will always convert it to decimal form when using it in our formulas. And all of our rates are going to be annual rates in this section. Simple interest involves interest calculated only on the principal. Let's take a look at an example. Imagine you invest $1,000. You deposit it into an account that earns 5% interest, and you leave it there for 5 years. If it's simple interest, the interest is always calculated on the original amount. 5% of $1,000 is $50. So the first year, $50 would be added to the account. The second year, $50 more. The third, $50 more. The fourth, $50 more. And the fifth, $50 more. So even as the amount of money changed, that amount of interest that was added was always based on the original deposit, which we call the principal. The total amount of interest added in this case would be $250. We started off with $1,000. We added $50 every year for 5 years, so we ended up with $1,250, and the interest added was the extra $250. The formula we're going to use to calculate interest is I equals PRT, the principal times the rate times the time. Take the example we just did. If I do I equals PRT in this example, what I'm going to do is plug in the original amount for P, the original deposit amount, which is $1,000. The rate, it's 5%, but I have to change it to a decimal. So 5% changed to a decimal, I have to move the decimal 2 places to the left, and the decimal ends up right there, and we get 0.05. So I multiply by 0.05. We're always going to convert the decimal or the rate to a decimal instead of a percent. And then the time was 5 years. And when I multiply 1,000 times 0.05 times 5, I get $250, which is just the amount of interest, the extra money that got added. Here's another example. You deposit $2,000 into a savings account, which has a rate of 4.5%. Find the interest at the end of 3 years. So this question is just asking for the amount of interest that will be added to this account. So go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Hopefully you had a chance to try that. So you should have done I equals PRT. I like to define my variables P, R, and T. P is the principal, which is the starting amount, the initial deposit amount. The rate, 4.5%. If I move the decimal 2 places to the left, I get 0.045. That's my rate. 0.045, and then the time is 3 years, and so I plug that in. 2,000 times 0.045 times 3, and that would be $270. And again, that's just the interest that would get added. So the future value of the account is the total amount that you'd end up with when you add the 2,000 you started with plus the interest, and the future value would be 2,270, the total value of the account. But you need to read carefully to know when a question is asking you just for interest or is it asking you for the future value. When you're asked to find the future value in an account or the total amount of money in an account at the end of a certain amount of time or the future value of a loan, you could find the interest like we just did and just add it on to the original amount, or you could use this future value formula. If we distribute the P on this future value formula, we get A equals P times 1 is P plus P times RT. And we just learned the formula interest equals PRT, principal times rate times time. So that last part right there is the interest. And P is the principal or the initial amount of the deposit or the initial amount of a loan if it's a loan situation. So this future value formula is what we're going to use when we're asked to find the total value at the end of a certain amount of time, whether it's a loan or a savings account. Okay, let's try this example in number 2. You borrow $1,500 with a 6% interest rate from your uncle for 6 months. Find the future value of the loan. So this time, instead of a savings account, it's a loan. Your uncle is lending you $1,500, and in 6 months, you're going to have to pay him back plus extra, which will be the interest. So to find the future value of the loan, which is the total amount that you're going to have to pay back, we're going to use this future value formula, A equals P times 1 plus RT. P is going to be the original value of the loan, the original loan amount, and you're borrowing $1,500 from your uncle. So that's P. The rate is 6%. We have to change that to a decimal. So I take the decimal and move it 2 places to the left, and we get 0.06. The time always needs to be in years. And so if it's given in months, you have to change it to years. So changing 6 months to years, I think we know that 6 months is half a year. But in general, if you're given time in months, if we divide it by 12, that will change it to years. So 6/12 of a year, or 1/2 of a year, or you could use 0.5. Any of those would work for T. And it's okay to just leave it as 6/12 because when you plug it in your calculator, the calculator doesn't mind if you don't reduce. Also, in general, if it was 9 months or 18 months or 3 months, you're always going to take the number of months and divide it by 12 to change it to years. Okay, now we are ready to use that formula. A equals the principal, 1,500, times 1 plus the rate, 0.06, times the time, 6/12. And we plug that into our calculator, and we get $1,545. So that would be the future value of the loan, meaning when you pay your uncle back, that's the total amount you have to give him. The original $1,500 plus an extra $45 that was the interest, and the total amount needs to go back to your uncle when you pay him back. Number 3, a bank offers a CD, which is a certificate of deposit, that pays a simple interest rate of 5.5%. How much must you put in this CD now in order to have $2,000 for a trip to South America in 2 years? In this problem, we have a financial goal of having $2,000 in the future. So that $2,000 is the future value. It's A. In this problem, we don't know P. We don't know how much we should put in now. That's what we're trying to find. So we're trying to find P, the present value or the principal. So the P, sometimes we call it principal, but in this case, we can also call it present value, which also starts with P. So I'm going to take my future value formula from above, and I'm going to solve it for P to get a present value formula. And I'm going to do that by dividing both sides by 1 plus RT. That cancels the 1 plus RT on the right, and I end up with P equals A over 1 plus RT. And this is going to be our present value formula for simple interest. And I would put both that formula in your notes and the other two that we just talked about. This formula is the same formula that we were just working with here. It's just solved for P, and that's what we're going to use when we know how much we want to have in the future and we're trying to figure out how much should we deposit now. So in this problem, we know A, the future value, we still know R, and we know T, and we're trying to find P. So A is 2,000. The rate, 5.5%, is going to be 0.055, and the time is 2 years. And so I plug it into this formula, P equals A, which is 2,000, over 1 plus RT. So 1 plus 0.055 times 2. And here's what that looked like in my calculator. I started by inserting a fraction, and then I put 2,000 on the top, and on the bottom I typed 1 plus 0.055 times 2. Notice when I wrote it, I used parentheses for multiplication because sometimes my dot can be confused with a decimal. But when I plugged it in, I just hit the times button, and we can see the difference between the decimal and the multiplication symbol. So whenever you're plugging things in your calculator, they should look pretty similar to the format of how we write it. And then we should, unless it says to round to the nearest dollar, we usually round money to the nearest cent. So that is 2 digits after the decimal. And there's one thing about these present value formulas. Whenever we're using a formula that starts with P equals, we're always going to round up with a P equals formula. And that is because if we round down, like if I just cross off the rest of this number and keep 80 cents, then I would fall a little bit short of my $2,000. I might only have $1,999.99, and that would not be enough. So it's a technicality, but we always round up with these P equals formulas to make sure that we reach our financial goal. So I'm going to round this up to $1,801.81 just to make sure I have enough.